Hello and welcome to my latest weekly video news from Madison's. Well, as you can see, I'm sitting in a very different environment to normal, and that is because my 19-year-old son managed to contract COVID. So myself and the rest of my family have now been in self-isolation for a while. It's an interesting experience. I've been there with many of you on your journey of homeschooling and know the pains of that. Self-isolation, I'm sure as many of you have experienced, is quite different because you're literally not allowed to leave your home, and of course there's no kind of schooling to plug my children into to keep them entertained. My son's doing well. So far we're all negative PCR tests. I've been double jabbed. But just shows how business very much as usual. So the team are still there in the office. We still have our daily meeting. We just do it via a phone call now. I've got a great team. So Emma Bennett, my deputy, has been doing some valuations for me. Viewing's still going ahead. It basically feels business as usual. Indeed, I've negotiated 7 offers from my back garden this week. So luckily the weather's been great, and very much business as usual. Been used to working in these strange times for a while now, but we take it absolutely seriously that everybody needs to be kept as safe as possible. This Delta variant is very transmissible. My son is doing okay, not actually too unwell, but it certainly seems to be easy to spread. So looking forward to our own Freedom Day, which will be coming very soon. But it's still keeping on top of everything going on in the world of property, and Rightmove introduced a really interesting piece of information data this week that showed that the first 6 months of the year have been the busiest ever on their records, and prices as a result keep on rising. The average price of a property is now £338,000, a rise of about 6.4% since the beginning of the year. So a phenomenal increase in rises. And what is it about makes those prices rise? Well, it's all about supply and demand. If you have more people looking to buy, more buyers than there are sellers, then quite simply prices will rise. And Rightmove showed that they had 160,000 extra sales agreed than would be normal at this time of year. Sales getting agreed was phenomenally up on normal levels, but equally 85,000 fewer properties coming to market. So what that will show you is there's more of a fight around the stock that is available. So overall net 225,000 shortage of homes, and if those homes that have come to market, prices would have been relatively static or risen in line with normal rates. So that big extra demand coupled with a big shortage, more people chasing the same thing, prices rise. Of course, as you'll know from my other vlogs, we're expecting prices to continue to rise this year, but with more single digit normal growth than the massive growth that we've seen. But as you heard, I've negotiated quite a few offers this week, and we've also taken to market 3 new properties. We've got another 3 to come to market. We launched a property in Havering Close which has gone crazy, and literally struggling to deal with the command and the demand of that one. So still a very, very buoyant market. Well, I'm sorry if you can hear around me some background noise. Those of you who join my vlog regularly will know that I am looking to build my own house, and it feels like an exciting day today because I have my soil testing going on. So basically, whenever you're going to build and do new foundations, your structural engineer, who basically kind of says this is how the building has to be built to be safe, needs to understand what they're building on. Tunbridge Wells typically sits on either heavy clay or sandstone. Sandstone's really great for building on unless it is running sand, which is one of the worst things to build on. And heavy clay is difficult. It would be deemed a problematic soil type for foundations. And that's simply because it suffers what's called heave. Heave is when it becomes clogged with water and it moves. Subsidence is when moisture leaves the soil and basically things fall away, and that can often be a big tree draining the soil of water, and that can result in subsidence. But heave is when the ground becomes filled with extra water and moves and bulges because of that. And when you have heave in a property, you have to make sure that the foundations will be able to cope with that. They often have to be deeper. And if you're planning anything like a basement, you have to build with extra reinforced walls to take that. So the soil survey is really important, assessing exactly what is your soil made of, and then the structure engineer takes that information and puts together the design, proposal, framework that your house has to be built around to ensure that it is structurally sound. The machines were making a lot of noise. My 13-year-old, who's been enjoying sleeping until midday, came through very grumpy at 8 o'clock with the banging. But we're just delighted it can still go ahead. They are outside, we are locked indoors. We haven't spoken at all except through a window. We can't make them a drink. It feels really sad. But basically they're outside, we're all locked inside. So still very, very safe, and meaning that my soil test can go ahead. I'll keep you updated with these snippets of my build. I won't bore you with it every week, but just when something important's happening for anybody, a budding self-builder out there, I'll just fill you on a little bits of my knowledge and things that I'm learning on my journey along the way. So yeah, an important day here. But I hope to be back in the office next week, fingers crossed. I'll be recording my vlog as normal. In the meantime, everybody please stay safe, look after yourself, and I look forward to seeing you next week. Bye bye.